The crisis of confidence theater of the air brings you Grace Under Pressure, the simple story of a woman alone in New York in the 90s, an age of diminished expectations.
Kick off both your shoes and get the hoovering done, and watch the rising sun. Isn't it swell when you're on your own? Aren't you grateful it's too late to call him on the phone? Take off all your clothes and feed the cat. He said, there's no hurry, where's my hat? Wake up to the realization that you're alone, and so goes a story that's told so often. I wonder who picked up after the orgies in Rome. Ain't it great when the guests go home?
Episode 3, The Art of Whining.
Now, this would look stunning in a persimmon-anchored decor.
I don't think so. I don't think it's big enough.
Excuse me?
My husband's boss's wife just bought a really big painting. It had a lot of size.
What size was it?
Well, they've got a duplex on Sutton with 18-foot ceilings, and it was perfect. Just as long as their triple-length leather combination and right up to the molding.
My, that's big.
Of course, with a painting that size, you decorate around it and not vice versa.
Of course.
Her deco did wonders with that dried mud, blood, and mustard motif.
Sounds livable.
But thank God this season, whatever you can't find to go can be filled in with fiberglass and lucite. Of course, that meant half the furniture.
Comfy.
And the curtains.
See-through curtains. Practical.
I can see you've got a lot to learn about deco, dear. Comfort, practicality. What is this, the Stone Age? That's for the kind of people who make a living, pay their taxes, take the bus.
Oh.
Art is for those who can afford not to like it. Because let's face it, they're never home.
Huh?
Winter in Barbados, summer in the vineyard, spring skiing in Val d'Isere.
Then why buy it?
To make your friends jealous at parties, of course.
Oh, you mean they don't even like it?
My, so naive. It's not a question of taste, dear. It's a matter of chacun a son conspicuous consumption.
Well, how about this one, then? It's certainly conspicuous.
Conspicuously last year. That garbage collage effect came and went ages ago. And just spray painting it Dayglow Rainbow won't make it youth culture. Just stops it from smelling.
Well, that's something.
Hardly enough. These days, there's no point in hanging a piece that doesn't scream, I don't care.
I don't think I care.
Well, if you don't, I don't. Toodaloo.
Now, Grace.
Oh, Mimi, I don't think I'll ever get the hang of this.
Don't worry, doll. You're doing fine. Rule number 1, let the customer do the selling. Your problem is you ask questions that make sense. Not a priority in the art biz.
What I don't understand is that a painting is a visual thing. Why does it need to be talked about at all? Anybody can see it, can't they?
Honey, what rock did you crawl out from under? This isn't art. This is business. And in the business of art, being ahead of the game is the game. I know an out-of-work actor who doesn't have to cater because his old man used to beat Jackson Pollock at poker.
But how does that help me sell Midnight Gizmo's garbage collage to society matrons?
Listen to me, darling. It doesn't matter what you say, so long as it's new. If they've heard it before, chances are their friends have too, and they ain't paying for last month's Cosmo.
But what do I say?
Pick a word, any word. Better yet, make that 2 words, an adjective and a noun. The noun should be abstract, depth, scope, size. The adjective's got to be more like Visceral, tangible, chewy, sinewy, mucoid.
Ew.
Or better yet, open a dictionary. Pick a couple of words at random. Let's see.
You're not kidding.
Now, when they started calling it word power, I started paying attention. Let's see. Okay, open to S. S is always good for money words. Here we go. Sclerotic. Nobody cares what it means. It sounds sick and scientific. Great. Now the noun. Okay, V. Validity, vapid, verismo. Void. Void! There's a word that means everything and nothing.
You know, now that you mention it, you could say that Gizmo's stuff was sclerotic and get away with it.
Oh, and void, it certainly is. You see how simple it is? The best thing is, even the hippest people won't be able to admit they don't know what the hell you're talking about.
But how long can this go on?
About a week. By the time it hits the columns, it's anybody's and therefore dead, dead, dead. Those society dames come down here to be confused. They pay to buy from us because they think we know. The truth is, nobody knows, least of all the artists themselves.
So the secret is to keep changing the rules.
No, the rules have been the same since Gertrude Stein. Only the vocabulary has changed.
To protect the ignorant.
Okay, battle stations, honey. This guy's big, smart, powerful. He'll buy anything.
It will be a privilege to watch you work.
Oh, what did we say?
Sclerotic and void.
Sclerotic and void. Oh, hello, Mr. Fursnyder. What can I do for you today?
This guy Gizmo any good? Looks a little cheesy to me.
Oh, that's a statement of the times, Mr. Fursnyder. He has, shall we say, a sclerotic outlook, seeing through the cheesiness of modern life, staring naked into the void.
It sounds kind of kinky. This Gizmo fellow, is he, healthy?
His relatives are flying in from Omaha this weekend. It will be a sad loss for the sanitation arts.
I'll take 2. And what about that one with the red sticker on it?
Oh, well, I was planning to save that one for my private collection for our Only the Good Die Young exhibit. But I'd feel better if you had it.
Hanging these babies in the lobby of the Fursnyder building ought to scare the pants off the competition.
Oh, Mr. Fursnyder, you haven't met my new assistant, Grace. Grace McMoon, Leo Fursnyder.
Well, about time you got some new blood.
Why, thank you, Mr. Fursnyder. Mimi's told me so much about you.
Yeah, well, wrap 'em up and ship 'em, Mimi. I gotta get back to the board.
Usual arrangement? It's always a pleasure, Mr. Fursnyder.
Mimi, you were brilliant.
It's all in the vocabulary, darling.
Oh, Mimi, I forgot. Do you still have that pre-Columbian piece kicking around?
What pre? Oh, I'll go take a look in the back.
No, I'll just wait here with Miss, what's your name again?
Grace McMoon.
Lovely name for a lovely lady. Where's Mimi been hiding you?
Well, actually, I'm kind of new to this business.
Well, you got a great start with Mimi. She and I go way back. In fact, I helped set her up in this place.
Really? She said it was an Oh, I see.
Do you, Grace? You're kind of quick on the uptake, aren't you?
Well,
Well, Grace, I'm going to be straight with you. I like your looks, and I like to show you the ropes.
ropes.
What time do you get off?
Tonight? Oh, tonight.
Oh, come on, Grace. You'll have to think faster than that.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, Mr. Fursnyder. I didn't mean to be rude. It's just that it's Thursday night, and I promised my friend Louie I'd go hear his band at Sama Bacalao.
A very hip establishment this week. You could afford to be seen with me there.
But could you afford to be seen with me?
Grace, there's not much in this town I can't afford. I'll pick you up at closing time.
Well,
Don't argue, Grace. The customer's always right.
Right. Hey, what about your pre-Columbian...
Don't worry, honey. He'll pick it up next time.
Mimi, what was that all about? Who is that guy?
Leo Fursnyder is the guy who owns the guys who run this town.
I've never heard of him.
Exactly. He's so big, he's invisible, and he likes it that way. No publicity, but he's the first name on every list, on every artsy society charity. Anonymous.
Wow. What's he want with me?
Well, that's up to you, darling. But the least you could do is sell him a painting.
Oh, Mimi, I don't know.
Look, sweetie, I don't pay you so little just because I'm cheap. I want you to be hungry enough to try that little bit harder to sell something.
Oh, Mimi, I'll get there. I'm sure I'll learn.
Now, tonight. Here, bring the slides with you. Tell you what, you sell this baby here, and I'll give you the whole commission.
Mimi, that's my rent for the rest of the year.
No sale. Don't come back tomorrow. Got it?
But Mimi...
It's for both our sakes, doll. You gotta get hungry in this business, or it's not a business.
I can't believe you...
Grace, I like you, kid. But it's time to find out if you've got what it takes in the sales department. Look, everybody talks about art, but nobody does anything about it. It's time to put up or shut up.
Well, I guess a little hard work never killed anybody.
Get a girl, Gracie. Now get rid of that slubby cardigan and get some attitude into that hair. Leo will be back in a minute. I'll take care of the office.
But who will take care of me?
All set, Grace? Right. Now you've blossomed.
Well, Louie says it gets pretty hot in the club.
Well, I certainly hope so. Shall we go?
Sure. It's way west. Maybe we should take a cab.
I brought my own. Oliver, this is Grace.
Whoa.
Do you know any sign language,
What?
Grace? Huh? No? What a shame.
What?
Oliver reads lips, of course, but he likes to keep his eyes on the road.
This is the longest. What could you possibly need? All this.
Come now, Grace. Use your imagination.
Oh.
Would you like some champagne?
Well,
Reefer? Poppers? Nose
Mr.
candy?
Fursnyder, I think you got the
Oh,
wrong...
please, call me Leo. I just want you to be comfortable.
Grace.
Grace, of course. Grace. I want to show you the town. Help you to get to know the people who know.
Who know what?
The people with money. Money. It's a dirty word in this town. One you'll never hear out of me beyond these four white walls, but it pervades everything in New York like a smell.
I think that's something in the upholstery. And it ain't spare change.
Damn that, Oliver. I thought I told him to clean
Now,
this.
Mr. Fursnyder, let's cut to the chase. I'm not a kid. I lived through high school. I'm not in this glorified meat wagon because it's glamorous. I'm here because my boss told me I either sell you a painting tonight or she's going to fire me. So let me save you the preliminaries, the foreplay, and the afterglow. You have more money than you know what to do with. You buy this painting, hang it in some executive washroom on the 17th floor. You'll never know the difference. I get to have a roof and a phone for another month. Why should you do this for me? On a scale of 1 to 10? Why not? But if it's sexual services you're looking for, you can signal Oliver to stop at the next corner, because that 6-foot guy in the purple spandex will show you a lot better time than I ever will.
Quite a spin to your sales pitch.
Well, it beats the sclerotic void.
There's something you're overlooking, dear. This transaction is not about value for money. Oh, man, what a middle class concept. It's about power.
Power.
Yeah, I get you to do what I want, when I want, in return for something I couldn't care less about, you see?
I'm afraid I do.
I could buy professionals 24 hours a day to take me places you'd be too embarrassed to read about. I've got a book full of bimbos who will sit anywhere I like, just so some of what I got will rub off on them.
In a manner of speaking.
Literally. If I gave them a social disease, I'd have to settle out of court for a lifetime annuity.
So, power, so...
If the lady wants to play, the lady's got to pay.
Look, Leo, I don't know why I could never play on this field hockey team of yours, but I could never quite fit into the uniform. Somewhere I got this crazy idea that sex had something to do with love, or at least an overwhelming physical desire, and frankly, I'd rather sleep with a grocery bagger at Christides.
Why, thank you so much.
Oh, come to think of it, Eddie has got kind of nice eyes.
Oliver! You're quite the romantic.
Oliver, read my lips. Stop the car.
Don't bother to panic, dear. We arrived at your little friend's shishi salsa establishment.
Well, how about it, Leo? Do I have a job tomorrow?
Only if you give me one tonight.
How big does a man have to get before he stops thinking with that little thing?
I doubt that Mimi will be impressed by your scruples. Don't bother to show up. She'll send you your check.
Well, that's cat food taken care of.
Remember, Grace, virtue is its own reward. Oliver!
Yeah, I'm wanted, dead or alive.
What a fool I am. What a fool I'll always be. And it doesn't help to know what a fool you've made of me. Oh, I could be wined and dined, and you'd show me a real good time. But it doesn't help to know that you're just fooling me. What a fool I am. What a fool you've made of me. And it doesn't help to know that that's how it'll always be. You say we'll go paint the town, and we'll turn it all upside down. Well, I've laughed my way out of bigger limousines, oh no. What a fool I am. What a fool they'll say I've been. No, you'll never learn to win if you cannot play along. I guess I got that wrong. If I thought that you cared, then I'd always be there. So come and kiss this fool goodbye. Yes, thanks for the ride, but goodbye.
Hey, Grace! Man, glad you could make it. We're on right after this set.
Oh, Louie, I am so glad to see a human face.
Whoa, Gracie, what's up, girl?
Louie, there are no badges in Girl Scouts for survival in the art world.
Blow this gig too?
No, that was the problem.
Ouch.
That wasn't a gallery. It was a single client bordello.
Whew, you babes got it rough. At least in the music biz, the ass I kiss is metaphorical.
Louie.
I'm sorry, Grace, but try and remember, art sucks. But the rest of life blows so bad, it equalizes the pressure.
Please, don't remind me.
Oops.
Anyway, isn't that about Newark?
Same difference.
Louie, I miss you.
Well, you know where to find me. 3 sets every Thursday at Sama Bacalao.
God, what am I gonna do now?
Don't worry, babe, you're on the list.
No, I mean like work, like tomorrow, like my life.
Slow down, Gracie. One thing at a time. For now, take arms against a sea of troubles and swim for shore.
Sounds better than slings and arrows of outrageous propositions.
Gracie, I think you're getting the hang of this Shakespeare shit.
The Executive Burnout Radio Theater has brought you Grace Under Pressure, starring Alice King as Grace, Blanca Franck as the customer, Dorian DeMichele as Mimi, Roger Casey as Louie, and George Sheffey as Leo Fursnyder. Be sure to tune in next week for episode 4, Waiting for, Oh God, when we'll hear Grace say,
Today's special is a lightly braised calf kidney in a peach and cayenne remoulade. Ouch!
Take off all your clothes and feed the cat. He said, there's no hurry, where's my hat? Wake up to the realization that you're alone. And so goes a story that's told so often. Wonder who picked up after the orgies in Rome. Ain't it great when the guests go home? No, I'm not lonesome. Great when the guests go home. You must be joking. Great when the guests go home.